Good evening, everyone. Someone in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to share the inheritance with me." He replied to him, "Friend, who appointed me as your judge and arbitrator?" Luke 12, verses 13 to 14. Many things in life are not fair. Children are keenly aware of this anytime they sense they have been cheated by a sibling. They complain to their parents, just as the person in the crowd quoted above complained to Jesus about his brother. We want justice and can become quite upset when we feel that we have been dealt an injustice. The passage above is interesting because Jesus gently but clearly refuses to be the arbiter of justice for this man. It may indeed be the case that he was cheated out of his inheritance by his brother. But it's interesting that Jesus not only refuses to resolve the dispute, he then goes on to teach about greed, suggesting that the cheated man was acting out of greed. If you were cheated out of your inheritance by a sibling, how would you react? If a sibling were to do this, it would clearly be a sin and an injustice. But the question at hand is your reaction to being cheated. Being cheated by another might result in one of two responses. The most common response is to immediately seek justice, to fight back. But this is not always what God will inspire us to do. Instead, when we experience injustice, we are given an opportunity to love on a very deep level. And this must be our response. This is why Jesus said we must love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us. In the big picture of eternity, earthly injustices are always an opportunity for grace. This is evident by simply looking at the gravest injustice of the suffering and death of the Son of God. Jesus did not complain about being so cruelly treated. He did not call on the angels of heaven to destroy the Pharisees and Romans who attacked him. Instead, Jesus used the injustice inflicted upon him as a foundation for his gift of salvation. As we journey through this life, we need to decide whether we are going to live for this life or for eternity. We cannot have both. However, by choosing to live for eternity, we also enhance our lives here on earth in ways that nothing in this world can match. For example, say you experience the unfortunate situation of extreme poverty. Say you were cheated out of your home and possessions and were left with nothing. Would this make you miserable? It might, but it doesn't have to. Instead, such an unfortunate circumstance has the potential for you to live day by day, trusting in God's providential care and to offer mercy in the face of injustice. And that is good. It is good for your eternal soul. It is good because it will motivate you to trust God on a very deep level and to become a beacon of God's mercy. By contrast, if you had everything you could ever want in this world, it would be seriously tempting to rely less upon God and more upon the things you possess in this world. But the things of this world cannot save your eternal soul. In fact, they are a serious hindrance to your ability to trust in God alone. So, truth be told, Poverty and injustice actually open the door to an opportunity for much more grace in our lives than material wealth does. But so often we still long to have more and more of the things of this world. Reflect today upon the spiritual and eternal blessings that come from relying solely upon God and not upon material wealth. This is a hard lesson for most people to learn. If this is your struggle, then try to take on the eternal perspective. Try to look beyond the temporary stability and pleasures that come from accumulating earthly wealth, so that you will see the eternal riches that come from seeking God alone. Everything in this world will one day pass away. In the light of that fact, recommit yourself to the embrace of God's riches by loving others through every injustice you encounter in life. And God bless you.
Mga kapatid sa pananampalataya, nandito po tayo ngayon sa 18 linggo ng karaniwang panahon. Linggo na kung saan pagmumunihan po natin ang tunay at wagas na kayamanan. Maintindihan po natin ang proseso, ang dynamics ng pagninilay kung titignan natin against the background ng isang taong mayamang hangal. Para po sa kanya, ang tunay na buhay ay nakabatay kung gaano kadami ang ating kayamanan. Kaya nga po, nung marami siyang aanihin, ginusto niyang gumawa na mas malaki pang lalagyan ng kaniyang mga ani. At sa katpuan sinasabi niya, maswerte ka, kapatid, dahil meron kang ikabubuhay mo na ito'y ihigit pa ng ilang taon. Para sa kanya, safe na po siya. Para sa kanya, meron na siyang masasandalan bilang alagad nating Panginoon. Subalit sinabi ng Panginoon, hangal sa gabing ito, ikay mamamatay. Kaya nga po ang lahat ng mga kayamanang naimbak niya, ang lahat na kayamanan inisip ng bibig sa kanya ng security sa buhay, walang saysay, walang silbi. Dahil ito'y nagtatapos sa kanya. Nag-uumpisa, nagtatapos sa kanya dahil hindi siya marunong magbahagi. Hindi siya marunong magbigay. Sarili lang niya ang iniisip. Kaya nga po, ang kaligtasan ng bawat isa ay hindi dahil meron tayong mga kayamanan sa paglagay natin mapagbibigay sa atin ng isang seguridad, estabilidad sa buhay. Pero ang tunay at wagas na kayamanan ay isang kayamanang hindi natin naangkin dito sa mundo. Subalit isang kayamanang maangkin natin kung kasama, kapiling at tagawga tayo sa ating Panginoong Diyos. Hindi binaliwala o sinasantabi nating Panginoon ang pagkakaroon ng kayamanan. Ang binibigyan lang ng pansit, pinupuna kung tayo'y naging alipi na sa ating mga posisyong material. Kung tayo'y naging alipi na sa ating mga kayamanan. Kung tayo'y naging alipi na sa mga bagay sa mundo. Kaya nga kung tayo naging alipin, tayo'y sakim na, tayo'y mapagmataas na, tayo'y wala nang sinasanto para po sa atin tayo na nagiging Diyos. At isang sandi po, mga kapatid.